I investigated the pimps and silly little people of Las Vegas. All right, I live in Las Vegas. I have untapped experience with this.
I used to be on these cards.
This is Annie, a former prostitute on the Vegas Strip who was forced by her pimp to sleep with thousands of men against her will.
Okay, oh fuck, never mind. Now, let's go back from what I did. Okay, let's go back.
Every single dollar. I scratched his eyes out. I took a big giant lamp and I smashed it over his head and I ran out of the room. Totally.
Of course, so you don't even got enough money. Let's be honest, you don't even got enough money. Holy.
So he kidnapped me from a gas station one night and beat the living shit out of me.
Now she runs a non-profit trying to rescue girls just like her. But how does an underground human trafficking ring exist on one of the most popular tourist destinations on Earth?
It makes bands on bands, bro. I've been, you know, okay. I'll wait. I have a very unique experience.
So Annie, we have the all-seeing eye of the Las Vegas security watching us at every step. How does a underground human trafficking ring exist with all that security?
Because you don't look like you're a victim of trafficking.
Exactly.
You wear your little tennis shoes, you walk in, and you act like you're on vacation.
Do you have people that know your face and what you look like?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
She got ops.
Do you get nervous when we go into the casinos?
No.
Okay.
This is a nightclub that used to be called the Jet Night. No, there used to be a ton of pimps that would hang out there.
And how many pimps are on the strip right now?
Oh, right now, probably, because it's day shift, probably only a couple hundred. Let's go to the bar that I used to hang out at to catch dates. Okay?
What would we call them back in your day?
Oh my gosh. So back in the day, we called
back
them
in my
Marks,
day.
John's, Tricks.
Meaning a potential customer?
Yes.
How long ago were you in the industry?
Oh my goodness. I quit the escort services in 1998. When I got in, I was a teenager.
Like 16, 17?
19.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
I was not a drinking age. I had fake ID. That used to be a full-fledged bar. You could sit there.
No, yeah, that's untapped method, bro. Actually, that's not an untapped method. But you become a pimp, and then that's a lot of money.
You could play video poker.
It's bad.
And just wait for a man to come up to you to start talking to you, and then you would basically solicit him.
So how do you know someone's in the market to have sex?
Just by looking
just look at them, bro. If they look like me, bro, they're in the if they look like stupid little virgins, they're in the market for sex. That's it.
Yes.
Let's explain the logistics of hiring an escort. So I see these cars that drive by and they have a phone number.
Yep. Okay, that's also something. They might talk about this. Okay, when you walk down the strip, there's gonna be a bunch of like Mexicans. I said the word. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of Mexicans handing out like cards, and they're just like fucking sex cards or whatever. And they'll have a girl and have a number, and it's like, oh, call this number, and you can have sex with this girl in 30 minutes. Blah blah blah. And they hand these out, and they'll follow you, hand them out, like fucking annoy the shit out of you. Hand them out. And they probably get paid less than minimum wage to do that because they probably need the money to pay for their families, to help out their families. They probably can't get actual jobs. I don't want to say this isn't a job. Okay. But yeah, that's a method right there. Yeah. Not even a method. That's just like the unfortunate things that people have to do to make money. But yeah, I see these people all the time.
Yep.
When I walk the strip. But for me, since I live in Vegas, the strip, like walking the strip, there ain't no reason. But if you live from somewhere else and come down here, then it's new to you. You walk the strip, you see this little car, you're like, oh my gosh, you might buy it because you're horny as a motherfucker. And
this girl is gonna come.
And this is perfectly legal in Las Vegas, right?
It's legal to have a stripper in your room.
So to break down who's involved here, we have you, the escort, let's say in the past, and the pimp who is trafficking oftentimes, or all
the
time.
time.
Okay.
When my trafficker was
my question is, do any of the past prostitutes just do it out of free will?
100% trafficker.
Honestly, there's not even a point to become a fucking prostitute anymore. Just be an OnlyFans girl. That's light, because then you can work on your own schedule. Like, you don't have to have sex with these guys. Like,
took every single dime I made. It's complete slavery. You can't avoid it because you're brainwashed. They groom you. They make you believe that they're safe, that they're going to take care of you. They have your best interests at heart. They have this whole business plan. I mean, my whole thing was this. I wanted to have my own jewelry store. And so that was his little shtick. He used that against me to make me believe, oh, one day we're going to have our own jewelry store. I was like, oh, all the money I'm making is being invested into that jewelry store.
That was the carrot he dangled over your head?
Yeah. My ex-trafficker would bring these girls to our house, and they were like 13, 14.
What?
When I found out how old they were, I shipped them home without his knowledge. He would beat me up.
Your trafficker is still out and about?
There's two of them.
So are they still at large?
Yes.
At large.
Honestly, hope the best for both of them. One of them shot himself in the head. He's still alive.
Jeez,
the second one. And people get so
How do you mess up that badly? Okay, sorry.
Because I was working in the industry itself for 11 years, nonstop, probably 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts, depending on how busy it was. I never stopped. But they make.
Does she have any STDs? How does that work? Aren't you like Why would you?
Control of it.
This content.
Our nicknames to all the traffickers were this. We were hoes, hookers, bitches. When he was being nice to me, a white bunny, because I was a white girl. So white girls command a lot of money. Okay, look right here.
Yeah. You think that's something?
That's a girl?
Really?
Looks like she's working.
How do you know she's working?
Seems somewhat discreet.
Of course she is. Let's walk over here because I'm going to show you the craps tables. And in fact, you know what?
Okay,
It looks like there's a girl there right now.
Tell us the lore.
It's quiet, huh? Isn't it? I would sit here, but I would usually sit on the end so I could see the whole span of the casino over there, where that older guy is right there.
So that's when you might target?
Yeah, he would be a potential target for
Older
me.
white guys?
Absolutely. So when a man was potentially sitting around, hanging around,
That's scary,
looking
dude.
for someone
That's like
me,
you like have to have like sex to make money, and then like you're forced into it. That's bad. That's something I can't relate to. I'll never relate to that.
Hey,
That's
here's my
bad.
number.
That's
Call me
unfortunate.
later.
How often will they call back?
Always. This is the part that is the worst part about you go into a room and you see a man and he's dressed really nice and he's not bad looking and he seems like a nice person.
Yeah.
But he's calling the escort service. Dude, what are you doing?
Sure.
True.
And then he shows you pictures of his family.
Oh,
here's
yeah.
my kids.
Oh yeah, true. Because motherfucker, they're lonely, like losers. They like hate their wives. They need like a break. They're stressed because they're like fucking business owners. It's
You're
bad.
like, what are you doing? A man
It's
putting
bad.
his hands on you for money, it just adds fuel to the fire. It literally makes it worse. So then your mind literally goes to this place of all men are cheaters.
Sure.
All men want sex. That's all they want. They don't want a relationship, which
Not me. Okay.
I know to be a total lie. I mean, listen, there's weirdos everywhere. If someone's calling for sex and they're paying for it, what else do they feel like they're entitled to?
True.
Rape.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, some sort of asphyxiation. Maybe someone getting beat up because it turns them on because
Yeah.
porn takes you.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's porn, it's TikTok, it's how easy access like boobas are and butts are, and like sex work is so like readily available. You watch porn, it transforms your mind and your dopamine, so then like you can only outlive your sexual fantasies in the most extreme way possible. So you gotta like beat these girls up, you gotta blank them, you gotta choke them because that's what gets you going. Like, okay, not me, I'm just saying that's how it works for some of these people, and most of the time they're businessmen, so they're like very stressed and like it's a lot. It's deep. This goes in the levels.
And
Untapped.
that's what gets these men to call, is that they get addicted to porn. They start
What'd I tell
looking
you?
at pornography material. They start, engaging. They start like fantasizing. Then they say, "Oh, I wonder what it would really be like to get someone in real life. Let's
What'd I tell
try
you?
it." And all of a sudden, you're getting a phone call. Go to this room, and the guy opens the door, and he's shaking. He's
Oh.
like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the first time you ever called?" They're like, "Yeah, I've never done this before." "Oh, so tell me why you're calling." "Well, I've been watching porn for years." I mean, they tell you their story. Or my wife doesn't give me sex, or I'm single, or I'm lonely, or I'm still a virgin. I would have men that would call for their sons to de-virginize them. Isn't that
Ew, bro. There you go. My son gets no play at all. Can you please suck him off? Like, that's bad.
Common for an escort to take an underage kid's virginity?
it's happened before?
Yeah,
You?
I'm sure.
I'm not gonna say.
Okay, so but people you know.
Brother, just say no. Okay, here's my thing, right? If you're put in a scenario where, okay, obviously the answer is probably yes. Just lie. Like, no one's gonna fact check you. Now you just look weird. Never mind, bro.
No.
Yeah, but I do know that
Like, you're not gonna answer? Like, bro.
fathers call for their sons
Okay.
to be de-virginized.
Sure.
Especially during a bachelor party. Oh my gosh, I did so many bachelor parties where the man that's getting
That's
married
bad,
has
yeah.
never had experience. So I have to teach
Farming
him.
experience.
The biggest demographic would be older, overweight, married men. I've seen a lot of stars, major male movie stars.
Really?
Leonardo DiCaprio level?
Yeah, game show hosts,
Jimmy Kimmel.
sports figures.
Steve Harvey.
You guys just keep watching me because I'm tempted to say these names. And also, I would get
Same.
calls from big CEOs.
That's what I'm
of
saying. What'd I tell y'all?
companies.
Is
And
that
then
valuable blackmail that these women often use for anything?
You could.
Okay.
Now that we have cell phones, I never did that though. I was an honest escort. That
Honest.
hotel right there.
You did not answer the question of if you took younger kids' virginities, but whatever you
I
say.
went up to the room.
Honest.
He opened up the door. He looked really sketch to me, so I was like,
Nervous.
He didn't look like a
cut on my
buyer.
arm.
So I said, "Can I see your ID, sir?" He comes whipping back out with a flipping gun,
Oh.
a 357 Magnum stub nose.
Okay.
Pulled it on me and ripped me.
What?
And then threw my
Wow.
clothes out the window. Yep. I fell in love with
That
one
took
of the
a-
guys. Is right at the end of my escort
Took a
career.
turn.
He was actually an actor, and he is a very famous actor, actually.
Interesting.
And he tripped me out because he told me he liked me too, and
that he was willing to work with me to help me get out of the business, and I was getting coke for him. So I was calling my coke dealer, getting coke for him. I was with him for for 2 weeks, and he broke my heart because I thought, you know what, this guy seems like he really cares. He really is into me. He's very sweet. He's good looking. I mean, he's been in movies. I'll just give you a clue with Demi Moore. He gave me his number, called him up. I was like, hey. Girlfriend answered the phone.
Oh.
I said, who's this? She goes, well, who are you? And I told her who it was.
Oh.
I said, this is Fallon. Your fiance, which you claim you have, was paying me for sex. I told her.
Jeez.
Man, just drop the name, bro.
I was crying. I was pretty upset.
That's sad.
And I was like, within a couple days, like legitly fell in love with this guy. And
That's
I told
crazy.
my second ex-pimp, I said, I'm gonna leave you. And the only way I got out of that relationship was because my brother came with a shotgun and said, you're packing. And my ex-pimp watched me pack my thing.
So your brother saved you.
And one of my girlfriends, she was a phone girl. Yeah.
Now, as you listen to Annie's story, you might be wondering, why didn't she leave the industry earlier?
It's called trauma bonding. It's when an abuser
It's like, wait, what's the word? It's like Stockholm syndrome.
recognizes that the person that they're dealing with has had a lot of trauma, and they bond because of that trauma. So a trafficker is very smart. They can see that there's been a disruption in their personal life as a child. They weren't treated correctly growing up, so they never really had a father figure, or they didn't have a mother figure, or they were from a broken home.
Fatherless, aware.
Look, the thing is with the traffickers is if someone's already abused this child, half of their job is done.
So
it's a setup.
These women are primed to be
They're
trafficked.
primed.
And can you explain what your first and second trafficker predated on? The qualities they saw in you that made you eligible for trafficking?
Good question.
I think insecurity.
Okay.
Not thinking I was beautiful enough or loved enough, and naivety. I trusted everybody. I didn't believe anyone was trying to get me. It's like I really felt like I was smart, that I had my life together, that I knew what I was doing with my money, that I...
And so here's a big question that I don't
Trump
understand.
Tower.
Were you making the money that you brought home for a time, and then out of nowhere, did your pimp start taking it all from
Yes.
you? How long were you making your own money?
Oh, at least a half a year.
That's
And
not.
then he said, hey,
How much money was she
80% of
making?
that?
He just took it all the first night.
With physical violence,
Here in Las
persuasion?
Vegas, yes. I was beaten almost to death that night. It was
Holy.
horrible. It was probably one of the most worst experiences of my life to realize the man that I trusted, the man that I put all my cards on the table for, the man that I believed in, the man that I
All right, we get it.
loved deeply, would have died for, was now hitting me, beating me, telling me I was just his hoe, and
Damn.
he's my pimp now, and this is the way it's gonna be.
And
Damn.
was it almost like a switch flip that day that you
Yes.
never saw out of him?
Yes, and I don't want to start crying about it
Yeah.
because I think of that young girl back then. I think of how naive I was and how innocent I was inside my heart. I did not want any man to treat me like that, but I fell for it. And I wanted to leave, but I couldn't because he threatened me. Now, why don't girls?
Yeah.
It's all about control. It's all about isolation, coercion, and control. It's all about keeping that person in a subservient position where they cannot leave. No ID, no bank account.
True.
You don't own anything.
Okay, but then how does she like buy food and like where does she live? Like she has to be making some money, right? Or the pimp's like giving them something. I don't know. Elaborate, please,
You
ma'am.
work for that slave master. You're enslaved.
And a lot of people think you're living this lavish life. You're dressed up, you're glamorous. Does any of that life exist? Is that real? Or is it an illusion and he can take it away from you at any point?
It's an illusion, and he will take it away from you at any point. I got kidnapped back too. He cut all my hair off, buzzed it off, and with the clippers, and in front of 6 pimps. And they brought the girls there because I left my trafficker, and he didn't like it. And I was running around town with a brand new car, and it was very disrespectful to the game. So he kidnapped me from a gas station one night and beat the living shit out of me.
Crazy
Any
world
pimp
we
that
live
a
in.
girl leaves, it makes them look bad.
These girls working the streets, they're working 12, 16-hour days, and very few of them are actually bringing home any money. Why do they work so hard?
It's part of the trauma bond with the trafficker, and they have to prove themselves to the trafficker that they can make the most money. And so because of that, they'll stay out as long as it takes to make their quota. A quota is a trap. It's the amount that the pimp told each person to make. Like, let's say mine was $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. If I didn't make that money, I couldn't come home.
What would happen if you didn't make that money?
You'd stay out.
If you didn't stay out though and you came home without that money, would you get assaulted?
Yes.
Okay.
You can get assaulted, or you get, basically, you get told you're not going to have sex tonight, or you don't get a hug tonight, you don't get a kiss tonight. You're desperate to be loved. You have no self-esteem. You think that you are a whore. You believe that no one could ever love you.
And you mentioned other girls were trafficked at the same house you were at. How many girls would a pimp have, and would he use multiple women as leverage?
But my point is like, okay, maybe they're so brainwashed or whatever, but like, if you're her and you see your pimp that you love with other girls, aren't you gonna be like betrayed? Or does that even matter? Because you're like, you still want, I don't even know.
Have you of affection and love?
Yes, that's the whole game of a trafficker, is to get your mind on the other girls in the stable, the family, to make you feel jealous, to make you feel unheard, to make you
so then you work harder. Yeah, so you're in a little competition.
in competition. So they use those relationships like a teeter-tot. Oh, well, she'll do this if I do this with this other girl. Maybe I'll have sex with her one night, and I won't have sex with her one night, and then I'll make it seem like
these guys playing chess, bro. Fucking, what's the like, you're like a puppet, This is crazy.
All of a sudden, she's making bank. Because now she believes if she brings home more money, he's gonna
fuck her or
give
whatever.
her more attention, because that's what we think.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds absolutely ridiculous, we think it. A lot of those pimps are from broken families that they never had a childhood, or their childhood was gang life, or their childhood was no father, or no mother, or an orphan, or whatever it looks like, or abuse. I mean,
I'm living a good life, chat. Damn.
Pimps have those backgrounds.
My pimp had poverty background, and his father left when he was 4 years old.
Okay.
My ex-pimp. He never knew his daddy. I was my trafficker's punching bag. I was the evil that
they project all that shit into them, so then they project all that no father poverty onto the girls, and then they fucking treat them like trash because it makes them feel better about themselves.
Yeah, you loved him, and he allegedly loved you.
I loved him with all my being, all my soul. I would have married him, unfortunately.
And that's part of the grooming and the complex trauma that people don't understand.
They don't get it, because when you love someone, you'll do anything for them. You'll die for them.
Would you have died for him at some point?
Yes, I would have. You can't see it from here, but there's one that I was at, beyond that one right there, the blue one, that I was thrown out on the 22nd story window.
Brother?
They tried to throw me out.
Oh, you tried?
The window opened up all the way. Tried to throw me out, and I held on, and I scratched his eyes out, and I hung on to him, and I took a big giant lamp, and I smashed it over his head, and I ran out of the room, totally butt naked.
This is a trick or your pimp?
This was my trick.
So Annie, we're walking through right here.
One of her customers.
There are a lot of high-end shopping centers here. Some of your tricks would buy you gifts in the form of a bag.
Yep, a bag or an outfit, jewelry, clothing.
High-end stuff, though.
Yeah, always designer.
And this is a tip?
Yeah.
Why is that your tip?
Because they don't want to give you cash.
Why not?
Get out of the damn video.
They don't want it to be traced. They would spend
You saw
cash for these gifts. That way they weren't traceable by credit card.
Okay.
Then they would say, oh, I just gambled it. And they'd be like, oh, okay. They totally believed them.
Most people have no idea these girls are being trafficked.
I would say at least more than half. And that's a guess. Let me show you what I would like if I could get it.
Come in here with a John and say what? Hey, I really want a purse.
Yeah.
Get recorded here.
Oh, taking 60 photos a second. Is that okay?
That's about 5,000. But a lot
Taking 60 photos a second. That worked. Okay.
Sometimes these are very wealthy people. So if you go on a call, you're always checking out the watches. You want to see if the man has any money. One of the telltale signs is, what is his watch? If he had one of these and you were up to date on your information on what model it is, and they're always worth 150, 200, 500.
I'm sorry. I will have any amount of money. I will never buy a 500K watch because at the end of the day, I'm gonna use my phone. I do not care. That's insane.
Could you tell a real from a fake Rolex at the time?
I had to.
Would this humanize the experience of being trafficked? Would you feel good about yourself when you got a tip like this?
I'm telling you, shopping therapy was my thing.
And as we were walking, this lady recognized Annie and commended her for the work she's done speaking on this topic. Oh, there you go. You've seen her stuff? There you go. That's cool. That's awesome. She supports the mission. That's pretty cool. In addition to housing, rehabilitating, and educating survivors of human trafficking, Annie also does outreach here on the Strip.
These are for women that are working and have traffickers on the Strip that need help. You know, we would hand it to someone that's working, like, oh, thank you. And then they open it up and look and they see, oh, wow, they gave me some cute jewelry. Oh, hand sanitizer, fuzzy socks, obviously a care bag. I have my phone number in here and a cute little Bible, but I always put this, read me.
Read me.
And this is the sex trafficking wheel. Sex trafficking is coercion, threats, intimidation, emotional abuse, economic abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. Emotional abuse is the biggest piece of this, and physical, obviously.
What if a pimp sees this?
Like, well, not good.
Is she gonna get beaten?
There's a...
I'm sorry. Okay, this is bad. All right, think about it like this. In her perspective, she obviously she's helping, but then at the same time, if the girl gets caught like she's kind of to blame for her getting caught, right? And like, I don't know. It's like you're trying to help him, but you can't. I don't know. I just laughed because it's like that just caught me off guard.
I probably have had more than 15 friends or 20 friends either get murdered,
Oh.
overdosed, die of a disease, all from the game. If they want
Damn.
to
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Can this man ask her about like STDs? Like, are you worried about that? Do your guys like wear like protection? Like, what's going on? Like, has she gotten pregnant? Like,
she was down in an illegal brothel. Of course, it was not legal. And a customer walked in. I should say a
Sin
buyer.
City,
walked in
aware.
and said, "Where's so and so?" And she goes, "I'm right here." And he pulled out a gun and shot her in the head.
Why?
She was a hit because she had left her pimp. He killed her. That's what.
damn, how is she still alive? Don't she got
Not
ops?
just walk away. I literally overdosed. Tomorrow is my OD date, August 2nd, 2003.
So you tried to kill yourself?
I didn't mean to. It just kind of
Okay.
happened. I didn't want to live anymore.
Ah.
It was a horrible, horrible time in my life.
Do a lot of women look towards drugs to numb the pain of it all?
It's an escape, yes. It numbs the emotional pain
Aware.
and the physical pain of the abuse. And it could be anything from cocaine, meth, pot, to pills, to whatever is out there. Fentanyl, I thank God fentanyl wasn't out there when I was out there, because my
Shit.
drug of choice was cocaine. We're gonna find somebody that's selling escorts out in public.
What will you do once we find them?
I'm gonna talk to him. Oh, there she is, right there. There she is. I knew it. Hi, miss. Can I have one of those cards? Thank you.
Hey, you. So we have $50 a night?
I like your shirt. I like the color. I don't know if you know this or not. These girls on these cards, they're not being treated very nice. They have pimps. I used to be one of those
She does
girls.
not care.
That's why I say that. Okay. Will you get in trouble, Maria, if you don't pass them out? Yeah. She wants me to write my number down for her.
Any thoughts?
I'll write it for you.
What situation is this woman in?
Why'd you ask him her thoughts?
Probably illegal.
Yep,
She
what I
can't
say?
work a
What I
normal
say?
job,
What did I
so
say?
She has to do this job. And
That's
part of
why
doing this
you
job-
watch YouKnowNate, because he's from Vegas. But I tell y'all.
job is making sure she passes out all the cards.
Yeah.
The girl right there just passed us. It's possible.
Possible?
Okay, I'm sorry. How? Okay, maybe she's right. Maybe she's right. But at the same time, maybe it's just some girl shopping. Just because she's wearing a certain outfit, like,
Yeah.
Why do
I
you
don't
think
know.
so few people have spoken out?
Because of fear.
Fear, the
of
game,
death,
you're gonna
fear of
die.
Retaliation, fear of the judgment of people. Because once you tell your story, all your guts are laid out on the table. And everybody can criticize you because they know your background now. But it's not fair because it's so
Damn.
one-sided.
Did your family and loved ones know you were in the industry when you were?
No.
No.
I lied to him.
Have you ever re-interacted with your old pimp?
Yes,
Yeah?
both of them actually.
Were those violent interactions? Are they still mad at you? Or
The first time I saw my first ex-trafficker,
yeah.
I was at a nightclub called Daisy's, and I was getting my car out of LA, and I was just going through chemotherapy. I had lost all my hair. I was wearing wigs, and I was very sick with cancer.
Okay.
And he came up behind me, and he said, "I need to tell you that I'm sorry."
oh, wait,
I lifted my head, and my heart was racing.
the good ending.
Like racing.
Surely,
because
right?
I thought he was going to hit me.
Yeah.
Because the last time I had seen him, I had left him, and I was at a nightclub called Shark Nightclub. And he had taken me in the back with the bouncer and beat the living crap out of me.
Oh, wait, this was before, right? I was about to say,
So I
never
left
mind.
him.
Okay.
And he walked up
This is-
behind me and he said, I'm really sorry for what I've done to you. I'm ashamed of myself, and I just need to ask for your forgiveness. He said, you're the best woman I've ever had in my life.
He lying to
Believe
you.
him?
He probably manipulating you again.
I did. He said he was sorry, and I cried. I cried, and you were asking earlier, why do I do what I do now? Because it brings my life meaning. And to let these ladies know that they're loved, and that they don't have to sell their body for a living, and that God loves them and forgives them, and that he was never mad at them, and no one has a right to shame them or victim blame them or make them feel like they're smaller than they are, because they're beautiful, resilient women that have, to me, they're the most powerful women in the world.
Do you
Why
wish
should
you
people
had...
be for a living? You know what I mean? Like, that's just not right. Like, why would
Real.
you do that to another human being? Especially if they have feelings and they have a heart. And so for me, it's like that day that I
That's bad, because like the guys doing that to them like see them as animals. You know, I watched The Pianist yesterday. That movie was sad, bro. That movie was sad. Like how and this stuff right now is so underground. I'm pretty sure like right now like there's still slavery going on in other parts of the world. There's probably concentration camps still going on. But like us as humans, bro, we suck. We suck at being nice to one another, bro. It's
I
terrible.
realized what I had done with myself. I was like, oh my gosh, I almost took my own life because I was so devastated because I had lost everything I made. The pimps got every single dollar. I had nothing to show for anything. And when you get to that low point in your life, it's like I told you about that guy that jumped off the parking garage. Yeah. He lost $100,000. This is a true story. This is not gossip. He lost $100 grand and he couldn't tell his wife, so he killed himself. And I understand that shame. He couldn't bring himself to tell his wife, I lost our savings. He would rather kill himself. That's the point I was at. I didn't want my family to know. You keep everything you do totally secret. You don't let anyone know what you're doing because it is so shame-filled. It's part of the enemy's plan. The devil wants us to believe that we're nothing, that we're worthless, that we're a piece of junk, that we're nasty, dirty, disgusting, but that's not the truth at all. My soul's been forgiven. I've been cleansed, and I am beautiful in his sight.
Amen.
When he looks at me, he always says, you're my girl. I love you. That's the words I wanted my dad to tell me.
Oh.
My whole life. Hear my dad tell me he's proud of me. So I hope he sees me now.
Yeah. While Annie found peace in her relationship with God, she also ended up getting married.
That's
I met
nice.
up with her and her husband Oz the next night to hear
Oh,
his
good
perspective
ending.
on Annie's life story.
We met on MySpace.
MySpace.
You guys have been married for how long?
14 years.
14 years. Did you think this was ever going to happen?
I always felt like there was something better and somebody was gonna love me. I knew it deep down in my heart, but I know that was a God direction, that God was showing me that. So most girls don't have that compass like I did, unfortunately. How does a man love someone that's been with thousands upon thousands of men, has been pimped for almost
Now, how does she like deserve love?
How does a man love someone like that?
Yeah.
I mean, everything Annie just said obviously is from her perspective. But the cool thing is my life is based on faith. And I saw God do so many great things in my life. My prayers were all about, like, if God wanted me to be with somebody else, he would hit me over the head with someone. It was evident that she went above and beyond the list. You can't hear stories
That's the
that
good
she
ending.
tells and not get upset, angry, and, want to do something to that
How
person.
have you come to reconcile with even some of the dark parts of her past and some of the wrongs that have been done to her?
All I have to say is what's happened with her, she went through for a reason.
Yeah.
And we don't know that reason. God knows the reason.
If there's a girl who is in a situation you were in years ago, is there light at the end of the tunnel?
There is not only light at the end of the tunnel,
There's
there
prosperity.
is a celebration, because now there's freedom and they just need to hang on. They just go call 702-883-5155.
Sorry. Just the plug is crazy. Sorry.
And then go to hookersforjesus.net or pinkchair.org. Get a hold of us and we will help you. And please donate to us because we do need help. We
I got no money.
survivor-led agency.
Also, whoever has the most viewed TikTok or
We know, we get it.
YouTube short using a clip from this video, I'll send you $500. Post however many times you want, but you must tag my TikTok/YouTube and put YouTube Tyler Oliveira in the title/description.
It's so like unsincere, insincere. It's like, donate to us. We really need help. Hey, whoever makes a TikTok in the next week will get $500. Okay, we get it. Let's read the comments. Surely nothing bad. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. W. Okay. Good. Everyone is liking the video. Everyone is being nice and peaceful. Good. That was a really good video. Good job, Tyler. Pog.